In 1968, on a scorching Arizona film set, something happened that stunned everyone in Hollywood. Clint Walker, calm, polite, and the very picture of professionalism, delivered just 37 seconds of dialogue, then walked off the set, never to return that day. The studio panicked. Production shut down for 3 full days. When they begged him to come back, he delivered a line that would echo through Hollywood history. "I'd rather be unemployed than act with him for one more second." Who could push the legendary Clint Walker to that breaking point? Which Hollywood giant did he truly despise more than anyone else? Stick around, because this story will reveal the shocking feuds, backstage drama, and secrets of classic Hollywood that no one dared talk about until now. One of the earliest and most exhausting figures Clint Walker encountered was Burt Lancaster, the self-appointed teacher of Hollywood. Lancaster was a legend, but he believed every set was his classroom and every actor his pupil. He couldn't stop teaching. On the Arizona set, he poked Clint's shoulder before scenes, corrected his breathing, adjusted his walk, and even tried to perfect the way his lips moved. The worst part was Lancaster's inability to accept praise directed at anyone else. If the director complimented Clint, Lancaster would demand retakes, shift camera angles, or insert himself into the moment, anything to regain control. The breaking point came during an emotionally powerful scene, when Clint Walker delivered one of the finest performances of his career. The crew applauded, and the director shouted, "Magnificent!" Lancaster, refusing to be outshone, marched forward, stood exactly where Clint had stood, performed the scene himself, and turned to the camera, proclaiming, "This is how a professional actor does it." The humiliation was so extreme that the set went silent. Clint Walker looked at Lancaster and said calmly, "If I needed a teacher, I'd have gone to acting school." Lancaster fled in rage, and the two never worked together again. But even Lancaster wasn't the worst actor Clint would face in the 1960s. Studios whispered about the Light Thief, a nickname earned by none other than Steve McQueen. McQueen had an uncanny instinct for positioning, always knowing where the camera was and how the light would hit. When the director yelled action, McQueen would subtly step forward, blocking the light from his co-stars. Clint Walker's natural presence was dangerous for McQueen's ego, so he launched a silent war. He instructed wardrobe to wrinkle Clint's clothes, told makeup to oil his face so the lights would glare off it, and even demanded camera crews dim Clint's lighting while brightening his own. On one occasion, McQueen threatened to walk off unless Clint's light was reduced by a full stop. On screen, Clint appeared as a dark silhouette, while McQueen glowed like the only man in the universe. Clint never forgave him, warning interviewers for years, "Don't ever mention that man's name to me." Then there was Yul Brynner, whose obsession with dominance earned him the title of the Emperor of Insecurity. Brynner was meticulous about hierarchy, setting rules that no one could wear higher heels than him, stand closer to the camera, or wear a taller hat. One day, Clint Walker walked onto the set wearing a wide cowboy hat, and Brynner froze. His eyes locked onto the hat as though it were a personal insult. He barked at wardrobe, "Cut it down to centimeters." Clint returned wearing a ridiculously short hat and remained silent, a calm defiance that enraged Brynner more than confrontation ever could. Clint cleverly began standing on naturally higher patches of dirt to emphasize Brynner's relative smallness, and when Brynner attempted insults, Clint cut through them with, "The audience decides who the star is, not height, not hats." For the first time, Brynner, the self-proclaimed king, felt insignificant. Lee Marvin, known as the drunken brawler of Hollywood, lived by one sacred rule: real pain makes real acting. Constantly drinking on set, he delighted in the discomfort of co-stars, and Clint Walker became a favorite target. During a bar fight scene, before the director even shouted action, Marvin charged like a missile and slammed Clint through a wooden window for real. Thus flew, and the set froze. Clint staggered to his feet as Marvin laughed, shouting, "Do it again, kid, the audience pays for real." Clint Walker confronted him coldly, "I'm not here to be your punching bag." The two never worked together again. Perhaps no actor embodied fragile ego like John Wayne, famously known as the Duke. To Clint Walker, Wayne possessed the uncanny ability to make an entire set feel tense simply by walking in. Wayne had a disdain for actors who were too handsome or too tall, insisting that Hollywood needed only tough cowboys. Clint Walker's height, effortless charm, and natural presence made him a target. Wayne frequently criticized him, claiming he lacks grit or he acts like a rusty machine. Yet Clint remained composed, chuckling quietly while maintaining confidence in his own talent. Tensions escalated when Wayne demanded that Clint receive fewer close-ups and be pushed to the edge of the frame. During a heated scene, Wayne snapped, "You should be grateful to be standing next to me, Greenhorn." Without hesitation, Clint Walker replied, "I don't need to stand next to anyone to prove I'm a man." Wayne froze and Clint walked away. They never spoke again. Charlton Heston, Hollywood's self-crowned king, also clashed with Clint Walker. During a screen test, Clint's towering presence unsettled Heston, who barked, "Raise the platform." Now, even seated, Clint remained taller, refusing to be diminished. Meanwhile, James Coburn mocked him relentlessly, exaggerating his walk, voice, and gestures. After a long day, Clint silently glared and walked off, vowing never to work with Coburn. Kirk Douglas employed a subtler method of confrontation, relying on psychological tactics rather than fists. His technique, known as frame cutting, involved half-step adjustments in scenes to push Clint out of the camera's center. He whispered suggestions to directors, insisting Clint was too big and disrupted the visual composition. When Douglas implied Clint should stay out of the main star's space, Clint Walker turned and said coldly, "A decent man doesn't try to undermine others." Douglas never approached him again. Their scenes together remained professional, but icy, and afterward, they avoided each other for the rest of their careers. Looking at the long list of actors Clint Walker clashed with: Burt Lancaster, Steve McQueen, Yul Brynner, Lee Marvin, John Wayne, Charlton Heston, James Coburn, and Kirk Douglas, a clear pattern emerges. These conflicts were rarely about talent or acting styles. They were battles of ego, light versus shadow, fame versus fear. Hollywood was far from a dream factory. It was a battleground, a place where personal insecurities and relentless ambition could collide with devastating consequences. Clint Walker wasn't hated for his talent. He was feared for the truth he revealed about those around him. Every confrontation highlighted the fragility and arrogance that lurked behind the glamour, and his calm, unwavering demeanor became both his shield and his weapon. Through relentless trials, Clint Walker upheld an unshakable presence. He never answered conflict with theatrics, gossip, or public attacks. Instead, he carried himself with quiet authority, defending his dignity while allowing others to expose their own weaknesses. Across countless sets, from the Arizona deserts to legendary soundstages, he stood opposite towering Hollywood figures, men whose names still echo through film history. Yet Walker emerged unbroken, leaving behind not only iconic performances, but a reputation for courage, patience, and an unwavering code of self-respect. His journey reveals the darker side of fame, proving that Hollywood has always been shaped as much by personal battles as by box office triumphs. The truth behind these feuds is simple. Clint Walker did not provoke, he merely existed. And for certain towering egos, that was enough to ignite envy and insecurity. Under burning sun and blazing cameras, legends clashed, but Walker remained immovable. His calm endurance in the face of Lancaster, McQueen, Brynner, Marvin, Wayne, Heston, Coburn, and Douglas secured his place as one of classic Hollywood's quiet giants. Decades later, his legendary 37-second walkout still symbolizes integrity, self-respect, and the courage to refuse being diminished by another's ego. In the end, Hollywood's hidden feuds and backstage battles are more revealing than the films themselves. They show the collision of human ambition with fragile egos, the quiet strength of actors like Clint Walker, and the extraordinary lengths to which stars like Lancaster, McQueen, Brynner, Marvin, Wayne, Heston, Coburn, and Douglas went to assert dominance. Fame, it seems, is as much about perception as it is about talent, and Clint Walker, standing tall amid chaos, taught Hollywood an unspoken lesson: respect is earned, not demanded. And sometimes the simplest acts: walking off a set, standing your ground, speak louder than any line delivered on camera. The tales of Clint Walker's encounters, from Arizona to the glimmering lights of Hollywood, show that true strength isn't loud, it's quiet, steadfast, and unwavering. Amid ego, rivalry, and fame, Clint remained untouchable, staying true to himself. If you loved uncovering Hollywood's hidden stories, feuds, and backstage drama, don't forget to like this video, share it with fellow film lovers, and subscribe for more shocking stories from Tinseltown. Thanks for watching.